Hi everybody, it's been 5 weeks since I did a video on pouring soap, and it's about time to unmold it. Now, when I did the video on soap making, I used these molds, and it was interesting. Here, let me first start with this one. There we go. It's pretty heavy. I was making a batch of unscented soap for my mom. She's allergic to fragrances. And I spent, I don't know, a number of years kind of perfecting my signature brand. It's a bath and body bar, so you can use it from head to toe. It's a shampoo. I guess I should call it a shampoo and body bar. So I have oils in here that are specifically good for the hair and, you know, all over. Most of your commercially prepared products have a lot of chemicals in it. This is pretty much chemical free. The only chemical that it has in it is sodium hydroxide, and you can't make soap without either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. But all the other chemicals, or all the other oils in here are vegetable oils, and great for the hair. So I showed the last time how to set the mold up and mold the soap, and I created these little tabs on the top so it would be easy to pull out the logs. So this particular soap mold creates 2 logs. Now, when I poured this, I discovered that that the batch, which was a batch of 88 ounces of oils, was a little too large for this mold. And I wound up having some extra, and I poured them in some of those silicone muffin tins and made little small hand soaps out of them. So I went back and I adjusted my recipe for, I think it was 84 ounces of oils, and I wound up having not quite enough. So I'll be readjusting again after this, my next soap making session. So here's the second batch, and you'll notice this one is the one that's unscented. This one is scented. This one is patchouli and orange, and oh God, it smells heavenly. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up too so that I can set all these aside, and I'm going to show you how I cut them and prepare them individually. Let's see if I can pull these both at once. Nope, I'm going to have to pull the tape off. Now these have been curing for about, I'm used to, when I was doing my soap making business, I didn't sell soap until it was at least 6 weeks cured. These have been cured about 5 weeks. Actually, you can handle them easily at 3 to 4 weeks, but the longer you let them cure, the more water evaporates from the soap, and the harder and longer lasting the bar will be. So a lot of people complain, this one's being stubborn, a lot of people complain that, all right, when all else fails, take it apart, that homemade soaps don't last very long. It's often because it isn't cured. Like I said, the longer they're cured, the more water will evaporate out of it during the curing process, and the milder the soap will be, and and it'll last longer. Commercially prepared soaps have a lot of the natural moisturizing oils that have been leached out of the soap and used. They would rather use those expensive oils in face creams and hand creams and luxury creams. They can make a lot more money out of it. So that's why I always tell people to go for natural soaps. They're so much better for the skin. This particular recipe that I created has soap oils that are specifically good for the hair and good for the skin, and they're highly moisturizing. I know as I get older, my skin gets drier, my hair gets drier, a little more brittle. I've had people that have had hair, scalp issues, and when I was in my soap making business, would order soap by the log. I would sell it just like this, and they would cut it themselves. And they had, I would get the soaps with tea tree oil and wonderful oils for the scalp and hair. And they told me that my soap was the only one that helped heal their their hair condition. So I was really glad to see that. You have to be careful with the oils that you use. I use a lot of essential oils and some soap fragrance oils, depending upon what fragrance I'm looking for. There you go. You have to be careful with the ones that you choose, because some people are allergic to things like clove oil or cinnamon, and so you just have to be really mindful about the type of oils that you choose, and always advertise what is in the soap because of allergies. But my plain shampoo and body bar has no oils in it that should be a problem. My mom, when she had breast cancer, I remember creating a lotion for the women that were going through radiation and dealing with all the burns. And the soap is extra mild as well. So let me set this aside. I didn't anticipate having to take it apart, but that one was stuck. It didn't want to get out. And that's why I take the time to line the soap mold with freezer paper, because it slides right out normally. And all of these components will be washed with just water. It's pretty easy because it's soap, right? It's an easy cleanup. Set this off to the side. So the soap cutter that I have, I absolutely love, and a lot of people use different methods of cutting. Some of them like the more the corrugated action of a soap cutter that makes this wonderful wavy edge. Other people like a more rustic look to their soap. So often it is cut, I don't want to say misshapen, not symmetrical. And it makes this lovely rustic look to their bars. Some people put colorants in them and glitter and exfoliants and flower buds, and I've done all of the above, but really when I quit selling soap, all I was interested in was getting clean. So I didn't need all the bells and whistles. I don't really do a lot of colors and all that stuff anymore. I have them, I can. My sister started making soap, and she makes soap for weddings, and often she'll fragrance them or color them according to what the bride wants, or how it matches the wedding party. And she'll do it for I guess gifts to pass out. Now you can see this is I used a lot of oils that were white. Some of the oils are yellow, so it has a little bit of a golden cast to it. And it is solid, but it still needs a couple of weeks more to cure. This is my soap cutter. I love it. Set my soap in here. And I like to center it between I guess these are guitar wires. I'm not sure, but I mean, they certainly make noise. see, my table's not quite big enough for what I want to do next, so I'm going to use this chair. I have set these aside. I really should open all of these up, shouldn't I? But you know what? You only need to see me cut one. You don't need to see me cut them all. The non-fragrance ones, fragrance-free ones are, look just like these because this may be a little bit more yellow because of the patchouli and orange oil I put in it. But the fragrance-free one would be far more white. I have this lovely screen that I use to cure the soap on. And this soap will stay air drying for another probably week or two. It depends. I'll probably take the ends, the slivers, and try them out in the shower. And if they are melting too soon, I will then let it cure for another week. So this is a really great little cutter. I bought both the cutter and the go pretty slow through this. It's pretty thick, it's pretty solid. I bought both the cutter and the edger. Let's go ahead and take these off. So you can see the ends kind of make this kind of funky looking. I always use these first. But the bars come out pretty clean. They're a little rounded where the paper didn't get in the corner very well. But then I will use this lovely little cutter that also has a wire on here to bevel the edge of the soap. So I am not sure if I'm too far away for you to be able to see that, but I'll just run it along here. And it makes this nice little beveled edge. It takes off a piece off the corner of that. So I'll bevel the edge on all the soap. And I usually do this, not right when I pull it out. I let it cure for another couple of weeks before I do this, but I'll bevel all the edges. So they need to cure for another week or two, air dry, and I set them up on the screen so that they have air going through them all the way around. This cutter makes about, or my log mold makes about a dozen bars, plus the ends. So I set them up so they could dry. And I want to make sure these are the ends. I usually just stand the ends up on the side like that so that they can also air dry. Let's do one of this is the one that did not have any essential oil in it. Now I used both the orange oil and the patchouli oil were essential oils that I used for this batch. And anytime you add anything to your oils, it's going to give it a color. There's some fragrance oils that turn it a dark brown. And it's all the same soap. You know, it's all the same recipe. But in comparison, look how creamy white this one came out. I'll set it. I mean, this is pure white. And I don't know if you can see the difference between the two colors. The lighting coming in from the window. This one's ivory, this one's solid white. This actually looks like a block of cocoa butter. We'll set this up and make sure these are, I just rub the soap flakes off of the wires in between cutting so that it goes through cleanly. This one, like I said, is pure white. So I will do this with all 4 logs that I made, set them up on my screens and let them cure. Oh, this one doesn't want to go through. Takes a little muscle sometimes. Let's turn this so I can get a better. This one's already cured really well. I just take it easy. I'm in no rush. Whoa. The end fell off. All right. So I will then set these, I'm going to set these apart from where the fragrance ones are. But it made a beautiful white bar for my mom. So I have patchouli orange and I have unscented. And in another 2 weeks, I will go back and bevel the edges and they'll be ready to use. So set this up, let that cure with it. Wanted to show you what it looked like once it came out of the mold. And if any of you get interested in soap making, look in your area for people that are teaching this process. What I love about it is that it makes this wonderful, clean, fresh soap. And I like supporting local soap makers. So go to your craft stores, go to your farmers markets and buy their products. Ask what's in them and buy the products that are best for you. My shampoo and body bars have the traditional coconut oil and palm kernel oil and olive oil. I also put sunflower seed oil and jojoba and castor oil. They're all either highly natural humectant, highly moisturizing for the skin, have strong, stable lathers. Each one of the oils have a different oil property, so you have to mix the ones that have drying capabilities but create a strong, fluffy, stable lather with the ones that are moisturizing but have a very weak and sometimes slimy lather like olive oil. So you have to find that good combination of the two in order to create a really great bar that lathers well and won't dry out the skin. So that's it for today, and happy enjoying soap when you find that in your local stores. Thanks.